the kitchen with me, your host. We're doing an East Coast fare. Everything seafood kind of reminds you of being on the East Coast. That's what I'm working on. It'll be out in several different things. Today, I am making lobster hush puppies. I had them when I was out east and they were delicious. These little morsels of lobster, sweet, sweet lobster. And I love hush puppies. They're just fried loveliness. So you add lobster to it and it is the bomb. So hush puppies came from the South. The story is, the one that I like the best, because there's several, is that when it was during the Civil War, Confederate soldiers, it was towards the end, and all they had was cornmeal. You know, to make, they couldn't even make corn pone, which is, I don't know why they call it a pone, but it's a round circle of cornbread. All they had was a little water, a little salt, some cornmeal, and then they would cook it on the end of their, over the fire. They'd make it into little harder balls and put it on the end of a stick and put it on the fire and cook it. Well, they were a bunch of farmers towards the end, I guess. And so they were out in the field and the Union was coming and they were hiding. But all these farmers took their hound dogs with them and their little family dogs, their hunting dogs, because what were they doing? Basically hunting Union soldiers. But at this point they were hiding. So they would take the little balls of cornbread and they'd feed it to their dogs and they'd say, "Hush puppy, hush puppy." That's how hush puppies got their name. Is it true? I don't know. Do I like it and say it's true? Yes, I do. I just think it's wonderful. So now that you got that little history lesson, that may or may not be true, let's move on to the ingredients. I have cornmeal. Now I like white cornmeal, but you can use yellow. I have flour. I have finely diced onions. I have eggs. I have baking powder. I always want to say soda. I have some salt. I have some Old Bay. I have lobster tails. I have buttermilk over here. And on this plate, I am going to boil the lobster tails so the meat can get done. And I have peppercorns, bay leaves, onion. Does that look like an onion to you? I have lemon. And then garlic. And I'm going to put this in the water, bring it up to a boil. And when it's boiling, I'm going to let it simmer for another 5 minutes so all the flavoring can get in there. And I'm going to salt the water. And then I will put the lobster tail in. So come with me to my stove. I am just adding everything in. Oops, what fell overboard? Oh, like. And then I'm going to put a lid on it and I'm going to bring it to a boil after I find my salt, and kosher salt, and then put it in there, let it boil for 5 minutes. We'll be back. See my lobster kind of going around in there? So I will take them out, cut them with the pair of scissors when they're done, about another minute and a half. I'm cutting the shell off of these. And I'm taking them out. I ran them under a little bit of cold water real quick. And I just pop the shells off. Doesn't matter that it's not pretty. Just get that meat out of there. That's all you have to do. Ouch. Looks like, I don't know, an alien, doesn't it? But boy, that alien tastes good. Oh, I'm just getting it out of there. Sometimes, I don't know if you can see, there's something there. You have to take that out. Just kind of like a shrimp. Clean that back. My lobster meat is all cut up in little tiny pieces. Oh, that tastes so good. It made me forget what I'm doing. So I have cornmeal in here. I'm going to add the flour and just kind of mix it up. Then I'm going to add everything else that's dry. Oops. Old Bay seasoning, that's what I've been using all today. It has celery salt, celery seed, let me see, celery, salt, celery seed, spices, red pepper, black pepper, and paprika. So it is just wonderful. It smells, like I said, the East Coast. I want a little bit more. I love this stuff. Now I'm going to add the onions. There we go. And then I'm going to add the eggs. I know there are people out there that are saying, ew, don't add it straight to the mix, but I do. Sorry. Now this you don't want like running, because you're going to make it into those little balls, little shapes. I don't know if you can hear my little kitty. He always talks to me. I just love my Maxie. All my cats, I never planned to have a cat, and then they just came to the house all on their own, and I love them so much. And I can't imagine my life without my kitties. So see how this is? Ta-da! It's so you can make it into little balls with your spoon and then drop it in. Then, we're going to add the lobster. Lobster. Oh. I made this one time for a funeral. I don't know what made me make it, but I did. And man, these were the things that just went like wildfire. Okay. So, now what I'm going to do is put them in oil. I'm going to fry them up in oil. That's what you do with a hush puppy. Just take a little spoonful, kind of tuck everything in, make a little ball. There you go. And then you put it in over here. You don't want to overcrowd your pan because it will cool down and then you'll get greasy globs, and you don't want that. So this size pan, put 5, and just let them go until they're golden. Aren't they pretty little babies? Oh, look at those. Now I like my oil at 325. I find 350, it gets it done too quickly for me. Quick. And then the onions don't get done. So, but finely chop your onions, otherwise they won't get done. Butter and honey is what they eat with hush puppies in the South. So I'm just gonna make a quick butter. Gonna add a little hot sauce. Little Old Bay, butter and honey, and mix it up. That's it. I might have to add more honey. Then you can put this in the refrigerator and then serve it alongside your hot hush puppies. You have to make sure you turn them over, because if one side gets too dark, they'll just flop back over and you won't get the other side dark. It's like the grease heavies up the one side, so you have to flip them. Look at those. Look at those babies. Oh. And you just put them on a towel to drain. My hush puppies are done. Look at them. They're so beautiful. And as you pull them apart, see the lobster right there? Very good. The outside is crispy. You get that Old Bay flavoring, and then you get the sweetness from the lobster and the crunch from the outside. Now I'm going to try it with a little of the butter. That is so good. Oh my goodness. I wish you could taste this. It is so good. The honey butter with just a little bit of Old Bay. I know I'm killing it on the Old Bay, but it is bomb diggity. So, thank you for everybody that is subscribing. I really appreciate this. I know I might not be getting videos out every 3 days or anything like that, but it takes a lot of work to put one video out. Oh, butter overboard, come here. So, I want to thank you very much for that. And remember to subscribe to YouTube. Just click, there's a subscribe button down at the bottom. Click the bell right next to the subscribe. And also, for this recipe and all the recipes coming up, go to www.justinthekitchen.com for those recipes and measurements. And we will see you on the next video, which will still be Eastern Seaboard.